Hi, this is Mike Furchess with Real People, Real Life, coming at you from Bel Air, Wichita, Kansas, America again, and I'm your host for this week's program. So I'm excited. I was really excited when I found out I was going to be doing the program and hosting it on occasion. And one of the reasons I was excited is I get to pick out the shows that I want to do. And one of the first shows that I found out when I found out that I was doing this that I knew I wanted to do was on motorcycle safety. And we have here with us Mike Vermillion with Motorcycle Rider Education. Motorcycle Rider Education. It's that time of year when people are getting their motorcycles out, they're hitting the streets, and Mike's going to talk to us some about motorcycle safety, what all that entails. Gary, my buddy over here with the Big Mac combo, we both ride. Everybody in the band rides. Chris Horn, who's with us, he actually works on bikes as well. But we all ride. I don't know if I like the word enthusiast as much as I like bikers, because we kind of take motorcycles to heart and love them. And Mike, tell us what you do, where you're from. I met this guy because I took a class with him about 4 years ago, and I'll tell you a story about that here when we get done. But tell us some about what you do, where you're located, and what's happening.
Well, I'm Mike Vermillion, and I'm the owner of Motorcycle Rider Education. We are located in town, West Mall. Our classroom is just inside the mall, just inside Dick's Sporting Goods, just past that. And we ride out on the mall proper, so we're just in the parking lot just north of the Town and Country Restaurant. So we're pretty easy to find, not real hard to locate. I've been doing this for about 10 years now. This is our 10th year in business. This is our 10th year in business. So what Motorcycle Rider Education does, we have 3 basic classes that we teach. And the one that Mike took a few years back was our basic riding course. That's where all either new riders or riders that hadn't ridden for a long time, they come and take that class with us. With the basic rider course, we are licensed by the state of Kansas. So what that means is I do all the testing at my facility. I give you a writing test and a written test. You take a piece of paper down to the DMV, get your endorsement, that's it. It's a weekend class, so it's Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. It's required 20 hours by the state.
When I took the class, you made mention of the fact that it's for all levels of riders, but that basic class, when I was a kid, I rode all the time. I rode enduros and dirt bikes, and then I was getting ready to get my street certification, and I wanted to make sure that everything was up above board and everything. And I thought, you probably experienced this, there's a lot of people that think they know it all just because they've been riding dirt bikes and so forth.
Yeah.
And that was the farthest thing from the truth. And I would highly recommend that, again, that everyone take that class. I mean, do you find that's the case, that there's a lot of people that they think they know it all and therefore they don't need the class?
I do. We get several people, and it's usually, no offense, it's usually the guys that were riding before, like 20 years ago. I just need to get legal. We are a venue so that they can get legal. You don't want to get caught in the state of Kansas without a motorcycle license. It's pretty expensive. And within, I'd say, half a day of riding, they're coming back to me, wow, I didn't know a lot of this stuff. Everybody, no matter what level of riding that they're in, will come away with something. We get a lot of phone calls afterwards, gosh, what you taught me saved me down the street. I was able to avoid this because of that. And we really like to hear that. The curriculum that we teach is Motorcycle Safety Foundation. They're out of California. They've been around for years and years and years. Since you took the class, we have upgraded to what they call a 2014 Basic Rider course. So we're one in the area that has that certification. And things on the range changed a little bit. We got a new book from when you took it the last time. It's a little bit more involved as far as making sharp turns around corners. MSF had been doing some studying over the last few years and decided for the fact that motorcyclists don't really do a very good job of making tight turns. So it's more concentrated on that. Some of the exercises that had some speed to it went away. And we work more on curves and looking where you want to go and things like that. So,
tell us some basic safety tips and things that you just right away could save lives and make it safer for motorcyclists. I think, I'm thinking of one example nearby somewhere. And,
yeah, I don't know what this is.
I don't know what the visual example would be, but
I highly recommend. Of course, we're big on helmets. We get up on our soapbox at the school and we talk about wearing helmets. Kansas is a right to wear state. You don't have to wear a helmet in Kansas. All you're required are eyeglasses, something for eye protection. We feel that all riders should wear a helmet of some sort. I wear a full face helmet typically. In the summer when it gets really hot, I'll switch over to a half helmet. But I want to make sure my head's covered. The statistics are better if you're wearing a helmet, you go down. Now, I understand there are some accidents you're going to happen. It's just not going to do anything. I mean, if a semi pulls out in front of you, that's it. But we're big proponents on helmets. We're also big proponents on making yourself visible in traffic. And that's a biggie. Most of the times when you hear about a motorcycle accident, what do you hear? What's the car driver say?
I didn't see the motorcycle.
I didn't see the motorcycle. Okay, yeah. Perfect example. A friend of mine was riding several years ago, a female on a yellow motorcycle, a pink jacket, and a pink helmet. Guy cut in front of her. Out of his mouth, I didn't see her. It was December. There were no leaves on the trees. It was brown except for her. People just don't pay attention, right? So we teach you how to be more visible in traffic, where to position yourself in a lane behind a vehicle. Not to stay in that vehicle's blind spot when you're riding down the road. We have several things we talk about: search, evaluate, and execute. Look ahead all the time. I like to say motorcycle riding is an active sport. It's not a passive sport. You have to be active with what you're doing. If you're not, you're going to get in trouble.
When I took the class, y'all really hit hard and emphasized the importance of the helmet. And I've shared this with you before, but it's about a month and a half later, I'm going over to Cassidy, and we'll be doing a show probably down the road from Cassidy to talk about the largest gathering of motorcycles in the Midwest, single-day gathering in the Midwestern United States. I think possibly the largest single day in the country.
I believe so, yes.
And I was going to Cassidy, going around the curve, going up by the lake, and there's a blackberry patch over near one of the piers, and I was looking over at the blackberry patch instead of looking on the road, and it had just rained, and I looked up and there was a big rock right in my path. And I had to take it over and laid the bike down in the grass. Thankfully, where it had just rained, it was pretty soft. But that helmet, I think it probably kept me from getting any more brain damage than I already have. And what I'll say is, I replaced that helmet right away. I had good insurance. One of the benefits of the class is the reduction in insurance rates, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. When you take the class from us and you pass the class, you get all your certification. We give you a completion card, which you can show that to your insurance agent, and you get it. It varies on the discount with the insurance company, but we are also registered with the State Insurance Commission's office. So because we're registered with that, they'll give everybody that offers insurance in Kansas will give you some sort of discount.
What I found out is that in the first year of completing the course, in the first year, it paid for itself in the reduction in insurance rates that I got. So it's really cost effective in the long run to take the class. And one of the other things I learned too is that a lot of times people would drop their helmets.
Correct.
And you talk about the safety nature and how that the helmet really is not as secure and how people need to replace the helmet.
Correct.
And tell us something about that.
Well, on helmets, the way they're manufactured and designed, I mean, they're designed to take a hit, obviously. But if you drop a helmet from waist high on, say, this concrete floor, this tile floor, it would cause microfractures in the outer shell. And that you really don't want because you don't know if it's going to save your head when you go down. So we recommend if you drop the helmet that far down, it's time to replace it.
Replace it. It's a small expense, but it's well worth it in the long run.
It's a small expense, and you may have to do that a couple of times. And we also recommend, that's the part of your body you want to keep. You can go without an arm. You can't go without your head very well. Spend some money on your helmet.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you want to spend some cash on. I'd say probably average $300 to $500 on that.
We're going to take a quick break here. I guess we got some more time, the producers tell me. So we got 6 minutes to go. Gary, tell us some about, you've been riding for a long time, the safety precautions that you see bikers taking, or the things that you see them doing on the roads that's probably not very safe.
Well, you see a lot of motorcyclists out there that are, they think they're hot dogs. And of course, one of the exciting things about being a biker is the freedom of the wind in your face, the excitement of being out there riding with some of your friends. And of course, one thing leads to another, and pretty soon that excitement bubbles over and you find yourself in trouble. But whether you're riding to Cassidy or Beaumont or taking a poker run locally, in the summertime there's a poker run almost every weekend to support some foundation or some cause. And most people don't understand that bikers make up a large portion of the donations that go to different events.
Different charities and so forth.
Different charities, yeah. They do the toy run, they have poker runs, they do money for bills for medical, they do money for funeral bills to help out needy families. They do canned goods, they do food drives. So there's lots of events besides just going on a rally. And you know, the old tornado rally down at Big Dog was one of the biggest ones. And I do agree that Cassidy is the largest single one-day rally nationwide. So they're a lot of fun. You got to drive defensively because just for the fact that people don't see you. Motorcycles are designed so now your headlights are on all the time. If possible, ride with your brights. You know, you always got to be anticipating and watching traffic, especially when cars start cutting you off, start merging in front of you, or merging in between you and another rider. So you got to be real careful and plan for things like that.
All of those are things that you talk about in the safety class as well.
Yeah.
Because there's tips to help you be safe in those situations.
Right, that's correct. Everything he talked about, we talk about all of that in class, and those are very good points. And as far as Cassidy being the largest single day event for motorcyclists, you've got to be really cognizant of what's going on when you go up there. You have to be prepared when you go up there. I encourage new students not to go up there, especially if they're brand new riders. I would rather they ride for a couple of months, get a little experience before they even approach that situation. Because you do get individuals up there that aren't paying attention. You get some bikers that aren't paying attention. And bikers are a great group of people. It's a great group of people to be involved with and do special events and stuff as well.
I remember before I took the class, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to ride the pig trail over in Arkansas.
Yes.
And I remember taking the class, and you guys strongly, hey, get some time under your butt on the road, get familiar with how to ride, what to do. I remember one of the first times I went with Gary, I four-wheeled off the road a little bit because I was having trouble with one of those turns. But after I took that class, I decided, well, I better go see what it's like over there before I go take my motorcycle. Boy, am I glad that I listened to the advice to get some time. How much time do you recommend driving before you go on an Arkansas trip or something like Cassidy?
If you're going to go on an Arkansas trip especially, and there's a lot of twisties down there, I love riding in that area. It's great. I recommend at least 3 months of riding continuously, you know, back and forth to work. Get used to making your turns. Make sure that you understand that as you make that turn, that head turn has to go before you go. And it's just like you know, when you hit that rock, you looked at the blackberry bushes,
I was looking at
right?
the
Blackberry bushes. And just that split second, the motorcycle will start to go that direction, and then you have to fight to get it back. Okay.
Doesn't take any time at all.
Not at all.
Mike, tell us how to get in touch with you again. If folks, the classes are filled up, it's that time of year, and you guys are really busy because another school closed.
Correct.
I cannot, these guys are great, but tell us how to get in touch with you again.
You get in touch with us. Our phone number is 316-706-9722. You can get a hold of us online at wichitamotorcyclelessons.com. You can sign up for classes there. My wife carries that phone number I just gave you, and she can hook you up with bookings and things. Right now, I know we are booking April 21st is our next open class. So we've been having classes since the end of February. So,
and to get that certification and the license, it's so much easier than to have to go take that road test, and it makes you a much safer rider. And we like to see them stick around more than not. So.
Right, and it is, and Mike can attest to it, it's a very fun class. My coaches are all laid back. We believe in, we understand it's stressful, and we can help you relax when you take the class.
Again, Mike Vermillion from Motorcycle Rider Education here in Wichita over at Town West Mall. So, again, you're watching Real People, Real Life, and I'm your host this week, Mike Purchase.